Fox Sports.
We are Black Horse. We are Kansas City.
Royals baseball comes to you from Kauffman Stadium. The Royals begin a 6-game homestand tonight against 2 first-place teams, beginning with the Cleveland Indians. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Sudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Joel Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery are coming up. Should be fun tonight as Jacob Junis has been compared to a young Corey Kluber. It's a pitcher that he models himself after, and he just happens to be going up against Corey Kluber tonight and trying to end a 6-game losing streak. What's been going wrong for Jacob Junis?
Well, he's been having some command issues, Ryan. He's got to be able to command that fastball. That's the name of the game. If you ask any pitching coach at this level, they'll tell you that's the #1 thing for success. Keep it out of the middle. Now, above the belt's good, but you know what that does is when you place that fastball where you want it, it really sets up for the slider. The slider has been a marvelous pitch for him this year. The opponents are only hitting 137 on that pitch, so if he can just keep it under and above their bats, the way the Royals have had a hard time scoring runs, he could be successful.
And as good as Corey Kluber is, he'll be taking the mound tonight, coming off one of the worst starts of his big league career. From Seattle. So it's Corey Kluber. He is the reigning Cy Young winner. He's pitching for the Indians tonight. His ERA is 2.54. I mentioned he's coming off one of the worst starts of his career. You take away 2 of his starts this year, his ERA is 1.86. He's a handful.
Ooh, man, I'll tell you what, the Paxton yesterday up in Seattle, he was tough, but he was a left-hander. Hopefully the right-hander will make the difference and the lefties will bust him in the lineup. Let's hope they can get some runs. But Kluber, man, he's got great movement on his pitches. Now, he's coming off of a rough start. You mentioned that. But the movement he gets is one of the reasons why he's so good. He finishes his pitches down in the zone, the 2-seam seamer's been nasty, but I tell you, he's one of the best. And rarely will you see a back-to-back bad game. But tonight, maybe the Royals can jump on him.
And so how do the Royals specifically beat Corey Kluber? Joel and Monty will tell you when we come back.
He hasn't pitched as well at Kauffman Stadium as at home, but recently it hasn't mattered. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery, glad you're back with us. If there's one hope in the lineup, one hope more than others, it would be who?
Well, there's one player named Mike Moustakas who has the best career numbers against Corey Kluber than anybody in baseball with more than 25 at-bats. And look at the way Moose has the ability to rise to the occasion against Corey Kluber. Those are amazing numbers. So hopefully Mike Moustakas can build on his team-leading 53 RBIs tonight. Second on the team is Salvador Perez, 21 behind Moose. So Moose is getting it done.
You see that there in our Kubota power rankings. But when you look at Moose, he had a rough June like so many Royals, but now appears to be coming out of it over the last 4.
Yeah, he just seems like he's really waking up and doing a nice job. I love his approach. He's going up. He's getting a lot of early hits, driving a lot of early runs in, and that's a sign of a ball player that's very hungry.
All right, we've got first pitch coming up. Royals and Indians, first of 3. Good to be back home with Slugger and company. More after this.
Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. It is game number 84 for the Royals tonight. Their first at home this year against the Indians. Cleveland's won 4 of 6 this year in Cleveland, and they've out-homered the Royals 9-2. So the Royals need to keep the ball in the ballpark tonight. The lineups and first pitch are next. Stadium with 88 degrees. So a little cool down before it starts warming up again this week. Here's the Indians GMC lineup. Cleveland is coming off a big game yesterday. They beat the A's 15-3. They had 11 doubles in that game, and it's a potent offense. They are third in the league in home runs, and they have speed. They're also third in the league in stolen bases, and they'll be going up against Jacob Junis. This will be Jake's second start against the Indians. He took a loss back in May, giving up 4 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. He did strike out 7 in that game, Hud.
Yep, now he's going to have to be able to command that fastball, that's for sure. The .414 average in his last 6 starts on that heater has been dangerous, especially the home runs that have been hit off of him. He's got to keep the ball in the yard. Forward around the horn, Royals defense. Alex Gordon out in left field, love it. He's got 7 outfield assists. 6 of those have come in the last 28 games. Don't run on him. Mondesi, since his recall June 17th, 5 games at second, and now his 5th start at shortstop. He's looking pretty good.
Here's our umpiring crew for the series. The crew chief, Fielden Colbreth, is at third base. Fielden Henry Colbreth II.
I'm glad you told me that.
There's our home plate umpire, C.B. Bucknor, the Jamaica native, with Chris Conroy at first and Brian Onora at third. Jacob Junis started the year 5-3, and now he's 5-9, trying to break out of a personal 6-game losing streak. And his first pitch of the night is a fastball for a strike to Francisco Lindor. Home runs have been an issue for Junis. He has given up 22, and that leads the major leagues, and that includes 3 in his last start at the Brewers.
Yep, got to be able to command the fastball, keep it above the bat, and blow it. Trust the defense. Slider's his best pitch. Opponent's only hitting 137 off of that.
Four pitches, and Lindor hasn't taken the bat off of his shoulder. And he grounds it out to Lucas Duda. He'll take it to bag himself, and there's one away. So the Royals are home for 6 games after a wild 10 days. Royals had a 10-day 4-city trip. Houston for 3, home for 1, Milwaukee for 2, and then 3 at Seattle. They can settle in here for a week before their last trip before the All-Star break to Minnesota and then Chicago. Michael Brantley takes a strike. Weird schedule this year. That here we are, the Indians are at Kauffman Stadium for the first time all year. It's July, and then on the next trip the Royals will go to Chicago and Minnesota for the first time all year.
Yeah, it's been a little bit different, that's for sure. Cold weather in Cleveland, you could have, it was bad then, but with the Cleveland's happy here, they came. And I had a chance to watch them take batting practice today, and Ty Van Berkeley, their hitting coach, said, "Did you turn the heat down for us tonight?"
Down?
Yeah,
this is nice.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Usually it's turned up, and the heat's hot. Nice play, a couple of ground balls. Junis is going to really love pitching that contact, keeping the ball down, using his defense. Duda's got nice hands at first base. Defense has not been a weakness for the Royals this year. They're third in least amount of errors in the American League.
Jose Ramirez with 24 home runs. That's the second most in Indians history before the All-Star break. Who would have predicted that 3 years ago? He's a subject of our Toyota League leaders, second in home runs in the league, and then either third or fourth in slugging percentage, OPS, extra base hits. And he's patient. He's fourth in the league in walks.
Yep, extremely dangerous, especially from this side of the plate. He's got a very controlled swing. His bat stays level through the zone, hits the ball where it's pitched. Just really a confident hitter. Matter of fact, he's downright cocky.
3-1.
He's not a big physical specimen, but he's plays like a big man. Runs, hustles. He's a player.
Almost got a third ground ball to first base. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Edwin Encarnacion is on deck. The Indians are at the end of a long road trip. This is the 3rd city in a 3-city trip for them. Another walk for Ramirez. So he's on with 2 down. Cleveland started their road trip in St. Louis. They dropped 2 out of 3. Then they went to Oakland and dropped 2 out of 3. And now a 3-game series near Kauffman Stadium. And there's Terry Francona in his 6th season as Indians manager. His team last year won 102 games, and their record right now is almost identical to what it was a year ago at this time.
They'll be there at the end. He's got some players, good offense. Excellent starting pitching. Bullpen, a little bit suspect this year without Miller. But they're a solid group, especially with this guy here, DH, 20 homers, 56 ribbies. He hadn't even really heated up yet.
There goes Ramirez, and Salvi from a knee really didn't have a chance. Ramirez got a good jump off of Junis, so he's at second base with 2 down.
It's his 15th steal. Good jump. Excellent takeaway. And he's going to aim for the back part of that bag. He got it easily. Salvi's throw, I don't even think a perfect throw would have got him. He got such a good jump. Talked about Cleveland's ability to score runs. They're 5th in average with runners in scoring position at 258. Top 5, you're in good shape.
Got him with a slider away. So a good inning for Junis, a couple of ground balls, and his first strikeout. Tonight the Royals face Indians ace Corey Kluber. Royals batting order presented by GMC, and the Royals are hopeful that a new month would get them going on offense, but they ran into James Paxton and Edwin Diaz and were shut out 1-0 in Seattle yesterday. And now they face another ace, Corey Kluber, who is 11-4 this year, and that includes a win against the Royals when he pitched 7 innings and gave up 2 unearned runs.
Okay, get him early. Look at that 3rd time through. If he's in the game still, opponents aren't doing anything off him. He's a strong finisher. See if you can crack him.
Outside to Whit Merrifield, who had 6 hits in the Seattle series. Up and away, 2 balls, no strikes. And Merrifield deep to left field, gone to begin the homestand.
Get him early. That was a beauty. Solid, loud contact. Waited for the heater right down the middle of the plate. Got a little back underside. Great lift. Look at the follow through. One hand takeoff on that top end. That ball was swung on, gone. Leadoff homers always work.
Up and away to Rosell Herrera. Fourth time in his career he has hit a leadoff home run. Herrera pulls it on the ground to second, and Kipnis will throw him out. One away.
Moments ago, the defense of Cleveland changed a little bit. They had Lonnie Chisenhall in right field, but he's got something wrong with his calf. So insert Rajai Davis. Naquin was in left. He moved to right. Davis is a good player in center field. He's a veteran, 12 years of experience. Francisco Lindor, he's fantastic. He's played 81 of the 82 games at shortstop. He's really good. There's Rajai. Naquin got a little battle, a little sun here early.
Mike Moustakas with one out. He's the DH tonight, and he hits it into right center field. Got it down around the end of the bat, but he will still dig for second, and he's in with a one-out double. So that's another hit for Mike Moustakas against Corey Kluber. So that adds to his .460+ batting average against Kluber.
Two-seamer out over, and when Moose hit it, he knew it was going to fall for a hit. But then once he saw Davis lunge for it, he decided he would take second. Because it took him a little while for Rajai Davis to be able to get his self-control and to make a good throw. So Moose, for his 18th double, he'll take it.
Salvador Perez with a runner in scoring position, and he's been dying for an RBI. We mentioned Corey Kluber is coming off a bad start, one of the worst in his career. 6 runs in an inning and 2/3. That's the shortest start in his career as far as innings go, and the second shortest as far as pitches, which is 48.
Pretty good if he's pitched this many years and had one bad outing like that. But you know what? You've heard me say it before. Humble pie awaits all this game. So he had a bad start. Trying to turn the page, but so far the Royals jumping on him early. Got to see if they can keep the line moving and knock that run in. Well, he's got him in trouble in the first here. Whitley, nice leadoff homer.
1-2 on Salvador Perez. It has been 17 games since Salvi has driven in a run. He tried to set up a scoring opportunity yesterday in Seattle with a leadoff double. Then there was a walk. The Royals had 2 on, nobody out in the second inning, but James Paxton was able to buckle down and get out of that inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled away.
It looks to me like Salvi's got a little different approach tonight, and that's good to see. He's shortened up his swing. He usually swings to the first pitch, and ironically, that was 91 right down the middle. I'm surprised he took that. That might have been a home run pitch, but he's trying to go to right field with all these swings. Good approach.
Pitch was up and away, and he tried to slap it to right field. Corey Kluber made his first major league start here at Kauffman Stadium 6 years ago and gave up 6 runs in the first inning, and then none over the next 3 1/3 innings. Chop foul. So saw some of his mental toughness early on, that he didn't let those 6 innings completely wreck his night. He is two different pitchers against the Royals depending on where he is. At Progressive Field, he is unhittable. He's an average pitcher here at Kauffman Stadium.
Yeah, interesting. You know what? Progressive Field, that's a launching pad, especially right field, right center. Ball flies out of there. This is a big yard here. Interesting. Numbers sometimes tell the story. Salvi continues to battle and milk those pitches. Just one out here.
Well, he likes to swing. We know that. Only the Cubs' Javier Baez has a higher swing percentage in the major leagues than Salvador Perez. Percentage of pitches with which they swing. Another foul ball.
And I guarantee you it's because right now this at bat, his approach, he's not pulling off. He's not trying to pull the ball and hit it out of the park. He wants to knock in Moose.
Kluber has not had one swing and miss yet. Royals have taken 9 swings and have made some sort of contact against him. Way outside, 3-2. So from 0-2 to 3-2.
This is called competing in your at bat right here. He's competing against Kluber. I like it. It's one of his best played appearances of the year. Hopefully he'll win it.
And he does. A line drive to center field. Moustakas is going to run through the stoplight, and he's in there. And I don't even know if he knew there was a stoplight. He just put his head down. And by the time he realized Mike Jershely was trying to slow him up, it was too late.
Man, Salvador Perez at best at bat of the year by far. He milked him. Look at all these pitches he saw. Salvador, he wasn't just chasing. He goes up there pulling lots of times. This one he wanted. I mean, he struck that ball well. Moose had a little hesitant as a start, but now he comes home. Jershely put up the stop sign. Moose said, I'm feeling good this year. I'm going to finish it. Nice slide, no problem. Fans get a little early action here from their ball club.
That's high to Lucas Duda. So Corey Kluber has given up 8 runs in his last 2 innings. Covering his last 2 starts. 2-0 on Duda.
So, you know, Mike Moustakas DHing today. So I noticed him out running because the team didn't take batting practice today. And I noticed him running. He ran 20 sprints out in the outfield. Had his headphones on. He was getting his work in. You could tell he was getting his sprints in. And then I saw it when he took off there at second base. He was ready. He got his work in for the day. And now, early in this one, he's already run a couple of bags. Nice. He's ready. Dig the hats. Hats are nice. Like them.
Yeah, both teams have Independence Day themed uniforms.
Socks for those who care to wear them are pretty cool too.
Three and 0. And with all the problems the Royals have had this year scoring runs over 9 innings, they are still second in the American League in runs scored in the first inning. 56. You include 2 tonight. The team that has scored the most, the Indians, 60. And they were scoreless in the top of the first tonight. There's that hard cut fastball, 3-2.
Yeah, you know, he has a lot of variations. Sinker, cutter, four-seamer. You know, there's the cutter there. You can see how it didn't do a whole lot, but like it could have been his four-seamer. Slider, changeup. He's mainly his fastball and the variations he uses is what allows him to have his success. The movement. He's trying to get in there on Duda. Duda lucky to even get a piece of that one. Slider, like Junis, is his out pitch. Three and two. Duda's looking heater.
And he got a slider. Kluber strikes out his first.
Boy, that's center cut too. I guarantee you Duda's walking back to the dugout saying, that was mine.
Two down to Jorge Bonifacio, who was reinstated from his suspension over the weekend and went 2 for 9 against Seattle with a walk. That's off of Jan Gomes' glove, and it gets a runner in scoring position.
Just third wild pitch of the season for Kluber, but that gets Salvi in a scoring position. Bonifacio can maybe hit a gap or hit something to the left or right of the outfielders, give him a chance to score.
And into the wind, and Naquin makes the play. The Royals get 2 runs. Whit Merrifield led off the inning with a home run, and then Salvador Perez drove in Mike Moustakas. Had a scoreless first inning. Jacob's been compared to a young Corey Kluber, not quite the polished version, but when you look at the both of them through their first 36 major league games, their ERAs are similar, as well as innings pitched, strikeouts. Junis has the lower opponent's batting average. Strike at the knees to Yonder Alonso.
I'm sure Junis and maybe his family or friends, whoever's watching, looking at that little split number there with Kluber, pretty impressed. They're going, wow, okay, we have a chance to possibly see a Cy Young Award winner. That's the importance of getting through the troubled spots. And you know, this little spell that Junis is in right now, he hasn't been pitching his best, but he hadn't got a lot of run support either. So you don't get down. Keep your head up. You know, he's been doing a nice job. Ned was saying today in his office about just keeping a good attitude and staying upbeat, not getting down.
Two and two on Yonder Alonso. Field and Colbert says no swing. Alonso, Kipnis, and Gomes. Junis allowed a 2-out walk to Ramirez. Ramirez stole second, but that was it. Whit Merrifield perfectly placed out in shallow right field, and there is one down. Joel Goldberg is perfectly placed just outside the Royals dugout.
If you guys watched the last inning, Corey Kluber, tough one walking off, you would have never known that anything had gone wrong. How often have we talked about Jacob Junis and the body language and how similar he is? You guys have already discussed it. So I went in and mentioned that point this afternoon to Terry Francona. I said, you know, we've said that a lot on our broadcast. Not that he has the same stats yet, but similarities. He said, I know what you mean. I said, Hud's been talking about that. And he didn't say, wait a minute, Hud's crazy, which, you know, Terry Francona could do. He said, wait a minute, that's really interesting. I never knew that before. He said, I love that in Corey Kluber. It's so old school that the opponent never knows what you're thinking about, never knows what's going on in your head when you're up on top of that hill, good or bad. He said Curt Schilling was like that, Steve Rogers was like that, and certainly now he's hearing that Jacob Junis is the same.
Pretty good comparison. Drop those guys in there, those veteran pitchers. Schilling, borderline Hall of Famer.
Kipnis hits a fly ball into left field. It carries, and Alex runs it down and then goes on to the warning track. Both pitchers have excellent sliders. The difference right now is not the slider. The difference right now are the other pitches. Kluber's excellent slider, that's only 32% of his strikeouts. For Junis, 82%. That's the highest in the major leagues. Kluber has different ways to get hitters out, and even though his so-called put-away pitch is his slider, if you really look at what got him to the big leagues, it was his improved moving fastball. And that's probably the next level for Jacob Junis, to be more effective with his two-seam fastball.
That's right, two seamers with your fingers up on top of the seams, and then put a little pressure on one finger or the other depending on how you want to make it move. Takes time.
Two and one on Yan Gomes.
Nope.
That was a slider. So for the second straight inning, Junis gives the Indians a base runner with two down. It was a Ramirez walk in the first, and now Gomes is hit by a pitch in the second. Strike on Tyler Naquin. Who is slumping at the moment. He is a .281 hitter this year. but over the last week and a half, he's hitting under 140. And it's a ground ball out to Witt. So a lot of ground ball outs so far for Junis. 4 in the first 2 innings to go along with a strikeout.
That third time around, he really does. That two-seamer, he didn't miss it. Whitley, he busted it, man. Nice leadoff homer. Moose, he dropped in a nice double, actually a leg double. He earned that the rest of the way and scored a run on Salvi's base hit after a nice long plate appearance by Salvi. Excellent job of seeing pitches from Kluber. Last year's Cy Young Award winner, and milked 26 pitches from it. And a 2-0 lead.
Alex Gordon, Alcides Escobar, and Adalberto Mondesi are coming up. Alex fouls away the first pitch, and that's when he's at his best this year, when he puts the first pitch in play. He becomes a .387 hitter. The Royals are that fine line right now, wanting to be aggressive when you get a pitch early in the count, but they've also made a lot of outs being aggressive early in the count. It's one thing to take a pitch, but sometimes when you go up there thinking, all right, I'm going to take no matter what, that's the one that's right down the middle.
Yeah, and then, you know, you do a good job, or at least you try to mask your emotions, because the catcher, he sees you and he hears you. If you go, oh, I wanted that one, then the catcher goes, oh, well, you're not getting that one again if you wanted that. I mean, there's a lot of that stuff that goes on up there.
Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Alex was 0 for 3 yesterday in Seattle. That put an end to a 12-game on base streak for him. Alonso will take it himself. 1 down. It's not been the same year this year as it was last year for the Indians bullpen, but it has been for their rotation. Our Lowe's whole team together. American League ranks for starting rotations. The Indians have the 2nd best ERA, quality starts, 2nd fewest walks, 2nd most strikeouts, 2nd to the Astros in just about all of those categories. There's a couple of their starters there, Mike Clevenger and Trevor Bauer. Bauer will pitch on Wednesday night. Hey. 0-1 on Alcides Escobar. Esky is playing third tonight. Royals, by the way, are 3-1 this year when Escobar plays somewhere other than short. He's the guy in his Royals career, when it's all said and done, will just have numbers that didn't make any sense. Like when he was the leadoff hitter, there was really no number you could point to and say, that's a leadoff guy right there, except that the Royals would just simply win when he was a leadoff hitter.
Yep.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's just sometimes baseball. But Escobar, you know, he means a lot to Ned Yost, Dayton Moore, Royals, you know, winning a world championship like that. I mean, and this is a good time in his career, even though he took a call there. Being able to be rejuvenated by playing different positions, accepting his role late in his career like this, it's not bad. He's a good athlete.
2 outs to Mondesi, who did not play yesterday in Seattle, and he's back in there at shortstop tonight.
I'm liking the batting gloves that go along with the uniforms, the stars and stripes. I'm seeing some of the custom batting gloves by some of these guys. Monty doesn't have them on. Escobar did, but he's got the star sleeves.
Remember, if the Royals hit a triple in tonight's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the KC Urban Youth Academy. One and 2 on Mondesi.
We're going to see a lot of triples in this, out of this guy's career here for sure. In this ballpark here, because he can flat out fly and he can hit some gap. He's got some power.
Two and 2. Okay, a changeup. So Kluber has a 1-2-3 second inning with a couple of strikeouts after giving up 2 in the first. your patriotic side with the next T-shirt Tuesday. That's tomorrow, presented by Minute Mart. Be one of the first 10,000 fans to receive a patriotic-themed Rays Royals shirt before the Royals take on the Indians. Royals.com/T-shirt Tuesday. It'll be Rajai Davis leading off. Interesting to see what kind of game he has tonight. Oftentimes the player that finds out last minute that they're playing when they weren't expecting to play end up having a big night.
You're exactly right, but this guy's got game whenever he steps on the field.
He'll be followed by Francisco Lindor and Michael Brantley. Jacob Junis has allowed a walk and a hit batter for his only 2 base runners. Inside for ball 1. That is inside the third base line and down into the corner. So that's a first hit against Junis, and Davis is at second base with nobody out. Top of the order coming up.
He's a player. Look, he's aggressive. He's in his 12th year in the big leagues, and this guy's done a lot. He's been a role player. He's been a starter, but he always hustles. I've always admired his style of play, the way he runs, and has a smile. You know, he loves competing, but he's a serious gamer. Tough out.
So runner in scoring position for Francisco Lindor, and he wants to bunt. And Junis may have had a play at third, but he had his focus on first and then just simply misplayed the ball. It is a sacrifice and an error on Junis.
Yeah, this is one he'll look back and hopefully not have to go, oh man, if I just would have. He just lost the handle. He had, and you know what, sometimes in the transfer from glove to hand, that happens. And lots of times you don't have to look when that transfer is being made, because that comes natural. These guys, they use their glove every single day. They transfer that ball all the time, so it's just an easy move, but there it goes.
Now Brantley hits it to right field. Davis tags, and now Bonifacio had a little trouble with the transfer, so his throw is a little bit late. So a sacrifice bunt followed by a sacrifice fly. Now it's 2-1, Royals leading.
Now just enough. Now probably leaving the bat. Brantley was thinking, ooh, I don't know if I got enough, and Bonifacio not bobbled that, it might have been closer. See, he had a hard time getting out. His finger got stuck. See, yeah, that middle finger got stuck on the outside part of the glove.
Runner at first, 1 out for Jose Ramirez. Ramirez took a walk with 2 outs in the first inning and then stole second base, his 15th stolen base of the year. Three years ago, Jose Ramirez hit 6 home runs and he hit .219. 219, 6 home runs. The next year he hit for average, .312. Good year. 11 home runs, which seemed like a lot for a guy of his style. Not a big guy, switch hitter. But then last year, 29 home runs, and his average stayed the same. His average has gone down a little bit, and he's going to fly past 29 home runs this year. And we've been spending a lot of time lately talking about hitters who have a tremendous spike in home runs out of the blue, and sometimes they can wreck their career. They forget who they are, and Ramirez continues to improve in those categories and is still a very good overall hitter.
I will say that. Now, you mentioned it 3 years ago when he got here. I thought he was going to be a flash in the pan kind of a guy, because, you know, he's not real big, and he's, you know, didn't have a big presence to him. There's lots of times you can't measure that hard. That heart is the biggest muscle and on a ball player lots of times. And this guy, he believed in himself, and he went ahead and continued and got better and better. And coming into tonight's game, hit 295 from the right side and left side. Identical numbers. Hook.
It will hook, and it will go up against the fence. Lindor is held at third, and it's a double for Ramirez.
But you know what, though? He's able to keep his hands inside, and that's the reason it did not hook foul. He's got an idea between the lines. Keep the ball between the lines. You got a good chance.
And that puts two in scoring position for Edwin Encarnacion, who's already driven in 56 this year. Junis struck him out with a slider in the first inning. It was that pitch right there. And now CB Bucknor is going to say that he went around, and Encarnacion, you can hear him all the way up here saying no, no.
Well, this will tell you here. I think he did a nice job of trying to keep his swing. Now he's pointing first base, hoping that maybe he can get an appeal. Sometimes umpires say, I saw you. I saw it myself. I don't need to appeal. That's where you get tossed.
Duda runs to the tarp, and it's into the fourth row, and Duda plays the ricochet. Now, I think CB Bucknor made the call before Encarnacion pointed to the first base umpire. But if you don't think that you swung, why would you be pointing to the first base umpire? So I think he knew.
He was trying to trick him.
I think he knew that he was close to making a swing.
But more players get kicked out on that play right there than any other play, especially now that there's replay and there's not a lot of arguing going on. I mean, they'll argue about that.
In the air to deep right center field. Bonifacio to the track. So Encarnacion got a good swing down in the count 0-2. He will drive in Lindor for his 57th RBI, and the Indians tie it in the third inning.
3 sac flies, or excuse me, sacrifices in this inning here. That ball's middle. Sometimes at slider he's gotten hurt on that pitch when it just stays in the middle like that, and a big hitter like Encarnacion is not going to miss it.
And that's an unearned run. Had Junis thrown out Lindor on his sacrifice bunt attempt, that fly ball to right would have been the last out of the inning. Fouled away by Yonder Alonso. He grounded out to Merrifield in the second inning. He had a big game yesterday in Oakland. He was 4 out of 6 with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. I told you in the first inning that the Indians hit 11 doubles in Oakland yesterday. That's the most by any team in the major league since the Royals had 11 doubles against the Yankees 15 years ago. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Alonso.
And Alonso, you know, had his best season last year in Oakland. I enjoyed that.
Ramirez is at third with 2 down. And the Indians, scoring 2 runs in this inning, have 2 doubles. Out to Witt again in shallow right. Gonna have to be a little quicker this time, and he gets Alonso to end the inning. So Cleveland ties it with 2. 1 was unearned. Who lost the use of her legs from a rare disease at the age of 11. She created an organization called Youth for KC, where she mentors and engages young people with service opportunities that enable them to learn the value of making positive, impactful change. And their first project was to bring the National Association of Wheelchair Basketball Victory Tour to Kansas City, which helped raise awareness for wheelchair basketball. And she is our Buck O'Neill Legacy Seat participant tonight.
Way to go, Sarah.
Whit Merrifield leads off the 3rd inning in a 2-2 tie. He led off the bottom of the 1st with a home run. His 4th career leadoff home run. No balls, 2 strikes. Remember yesterday when James Paxton was dealing, we were saying that against the elite, sometimes that's the only way to beat them. And you get a base hit and a home run, or an error, or a walk and a home run, because it's hard to string together a lot of hits against guys like James Paxton, at least when he's pitching like he was yesterday, and Corey Kluber and others.
That's right.
Well, the same is true of Corey Kluber. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With Witt's home run in the 1st inning, that means 25 of the 36 runs that Corey Kluber has allowed this year have been by way of a home run. Witt floats one out to second, and Kipnis is there for the out.
Fans celebrate the 4th of July at the Cave with an Independence Day fireworks spectacular after the Royals host the Indians. That's 7:15. Don't miss the show. Get your tickets now at Royals.com. Be with us. It's going to be a great show.
Rosell Herrera with 1 out. He grounded out to second base in the 1st inning. Rosell was in a long line of guys who were unable to break through against James Paxton yesterday. It was just the 3rd time in his 12 starts that he has not reached base. And again, he rolls it out to Kipnis with a short underhand toss over to Alonso. 2 down. You like those socks, huh?
I love them. Any opportunity to wear something like that to support your country where you're playing. I mean, you know, that's all welcome. He's getting a little. You see him shaking his head now. He's like, man, you know what? My first week here, I couldn't do anything wrong. Now I can't buy a hit. Just how the game is sometimes. Ask this man right here. Moose knows all about it. This month of June, he struggled. His numbers were down, but man, he hit the ball as hard as he did in April, in May. He just didn't have any luck.
Long run for Ramirez with the shift, and he got it. Snow cone style, but he got it.
And he had to run hard for it.
A photo or video with hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Royals 2, Indians 2. The Royals scored 2 in the first. Cleveland 2 in the third. Jason Kipnis takes a strike. He flied out to deep left center field in the second inning, run down by Alex Gordon. Batting .217, Jason Kipnis. A little over 300 the last 2 weeks. So his bat is starting to warm up. And when you're struggling, you take pitches like that one.
Yep, he's telling himself right there, that was the one I wanted.
Outthinking himself at the plate.
You can tell by the expression. Now, he didn't say anything, but expression said a lot.
So he takes a strike and swings at a ball, and that's the way it goes when you're struggling.
That didn't look good.
You know, most hitters, when they're going through a slump, and I mentioned Kipnis lately has been swinging better, but when a hitter's going through a slump, you know, oftentimes they'll try something new. You know, at this level, usually it's not anything really dramatic, but might be focusing on something different at the plate to break out of it. But how often is it just a matter of swinging at good pitches?
Oh, that's probably 90% of it. Hitting is such a head game. You're here for a reason, because you've had success, sustained success, consistency. And then when you go south, you start tinkering. Well, I want to try this or I'll try that. Like Alex, Alex had a couple of years where he's been struggling offensively. Then he dropped his bat down. That's a good hit against the shift there. He dropped his bat down to get a little flatter, just to try to make some kind of difference in it.
Gomes was hit by a pitch in the second inning, and now he's on with 1 out in the 4th. And here's Tyler Naquin, who grounded out to second in the second inning. Way outside for ball 1. I've noticed in just talking to hitters over the years about slumps that the most common pattern I hear, and I'm talking about a guy who gets into a deep slump, like a 1 for 30 or something like that. Naquin takes a strike. The slump begins. Hitter tries to grind it out. Then he'll try something mechanically at the plate, maybe move his hands a little bit or his foot position, or just do something different mechanically. 1-2 on Naquin. And then that doesn't work out. And then they break out of the slump, and more times than not the hitter will say, you know what, I just got back to just trying to see the ball and hit it hard at the middle. But that's like the normal pattern that I see. And I guess the best hitters, Hud, are the ones that get back to just trying to see the ball and hit it up through the middle sooner rather than later.
That's where your support system comes in heavy, especially your hitting coach. He's not going to panic. He's not going to overdo it.
Got Naquin on the foot, and that was a 1-2 pitch. So that's painful for Naquin and painful for Junis.
So Junis has hit his team leading 7th and 8th batters this year. Slider was a little bit too down low and caught the big toe. Ouch. Yeah, because about that 2 for 30, that's when you get the phone call from your friends or your buddies. I know what you're doing. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. Or your mom might have some advice for you. That's what you want to block out, all that stuff when you're in a slump. Just stay focused to your hitting coach, and he'll help you. Because you get all kinds of hitting coaches calling on the phone. I'll never forget my mom saying you'd be better off using a boat oar for some of the pitches you're swinging at. I was insulted a little bit. I got a little angry. Oh, really? Thanks, Mom. Good advice. Way to encourage me.
Two on, 1 out to Rajai Davis. He doubled and scored in the Indians' 2-run third. And now he's nicked by a pitch. And the bases are loaded with 1 out, and Francisco Lindor is coming up.
Man, unfortunate the slider's getting away from him. Barely just ticked off his elbow pad.
And he did everything, absolutely everything humanly possible to get out of the way. So here's Lindor, the subject of our Kia Drive to Success. And Francisco Lindor, in 53 career games against the Royals, has 47 RBIs. 15 home runs, 47 RBIs. Both of those numbers are the most for him against any team. So this is a pivotal moment in the game, to say the least. Bases loaded, 1 out. Lindor was also a big play last inning when Cleveland scored 2. He tried to bunt for a base hit. It ended up being a bad bunt. And Junis just bobbled his bunt, and there was no out. 1 ball, 1 strike.
See if he can put him in the lane some way, somehow. It won't be easy. He's only grounded into 3 this year. Junis has induced 4. That'd be the best case. 2 hopper to Whitley. A little bit leery coming inside on Lindor. He's trying to keep the ball away purposely.
Probably for a couple of reasons. You got to be careful pitching him inside, and he's already hit 2 batters in this inning.
That's right.
Three and 1. Michael Brantley is on deck. That is worth 4. So Francisco Lindor, you can update the numbers, 54 games against the Royals and 51 RBIs. His 22nd home run of the year is a grand slam.
That's why he didn't want to come in. Taking his chances. If it was down low, maybe even if you walk him, but that's right in the middle, like a changeup. He didn't miss it. Mo Lottery, good swing, controlled, barrel.
You know, even on a bad off-speed pitch, the hitter's a little bit out in front. I mean, he timed that pitch perfectly.
He did. Plus, it was, you know, right in the middle, and sometimes that'll speed the bat up.
And now Brantley strokes it into right field. That's his first hit tonight. He does have a sac fly RBI.
See, he's got a change-up grip, and it's just elevated. It's belt high and right in the middle. And see, he was a tad out front, but his hands stayed back just enough, and he knew it. And he's not going to showboat. He's a classy young player.
Jose Ramirez has walked and doubled. Four runs on 2 hits for Cleveland in this inning. Caught by Duda, and Junis really needed that. Some good fortune on a line drive to first, and a double play ends the inning. But 2 hit batters and a single. They come home on the Lindor grand slam. Kansas City is brought to you by Pizza Ranch. Hungry for legendary pizza and chicken? It's Pizza Ranch for the win. Francisco Lindor has scored twice and he has driven in 4. He had a grand slam in the top of the 4th inning, so the Royals at one time 2-0 lead is now a 6-2 deficit. And Corey Kluber, who was shaky in the 1st inning and gave up 2 runs, has now set down the last 8 Royals, going back to the Salvador Perez RBI single in the 1st inning. And that was Salvi's first RBI in 17 games.
Yeah, he had a great approach. The whole at bat he was trying to go to right field.
That was an 0-2 pitch. And Brantley has plenty of room in left field. 1 away.
MLB At Bat is your #1 Royals app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Royals home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. Lady streaming right there.
Lucas Duda took a called 3rd strike his first time up on that pitch right there, a slider. Lucas was not in the lineup yesterday against James Paxton. Hey. 1 ball, 1 strike. It was a loss. But there was a lot of discussion today about Brad Keller's performance yesterday. That's a swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Indians have the overshift on Duda with Kipnis way out in right field. 2 balls, 2 strikes. StatCast powered by AWS. Red is a high percentage of balls hit to an area, then yellow. Green is the fewest. So that justifies the shift for the Indians. Duda strikes out and there are 2 away in the 4th inning.
Yep. It's 100 batted balls that went less than 200 feet. Interesting. Good pitch, keep it down low. Didn't need the shift.
So we'll use that more often, and as Hud said, that's a decent sample size. Would you say last 100 balls in play that were fewer than 250 feet?
Put in by Duda.
Bonifacio flied out to right field in the 1st inning. So he's 2 out of 10 since rejoining the Royals. Two balls, no strikes. Sinking liner into left center field is going to drop. Brantley cuts it off, and Bonifacio has a 2-out single. Kluber had set down the previous 10.
See him on the side of the ball like that. Looked like a 4-seamer, but just stayed straight. And he got it. You know, didn't barrel it. It got in on him some, so he kind of missed his barrel. But I love the way he made this turn at first base. Make the outfielder stop you. You're thinking 2 all the way, and then, you know, hustle hard around the base. If the slight bobble by the outfielder, you don't even hesitate. You just keep going into second. That's how you play the game.
Alex grounded out to Alonso at first in the 2nd inning. One and one. Remember, I asked Alex Gordon a few weeks ago, was he imitating Jason Kipnis when he moved his hands to that position? That's who it reminded me of. Alex said it was more Eric Hosmer. We'll line those two up in a split screen coming up later tonight. Royals are scoreless in the fourth. Lindor grand slam, and in honor of Lindor, Jose Ramirez and Edwin Encarnacion batting here, each over 20 home runs. HUD, back in 2001, the Indians had another trio with 20 or more home runs prior to the All-Star break. Who was it? Encarnacion has a sacrifice fly, and he is struck out. Mondesi is at short and throws out Duda, one away. Jim Thome had to be one of them,
yeah,
right?
Hand holds in my phone and my iPad, just so I don't think I'm going to cheat, because I'm going to get it. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I think it happened.
There's some claims of using your phone. Okay, so
yeah,
there goes the goal. Holtzy. Although the phone just buzzed. Hang on, who was that? Who just texted him? Let's find out who it was.
It might be on there. The answer. Hey, how about Travis Hafner had to be in there somewhere, maybe, huh? No, Pronk.
In 01. Had he arrived yet in 01?
Maybe not.
Well, that is foul.
Then
well, we'll write it down.
Was Thome there too?
Well, I just said Jim Thome
okay,
has to be one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll write him down. Was that Juan Gonzalez was there one year and had a huge year, and then he was with the Royals in 04.
I'm thinking Juan was before 01.
I'll put it down anyway, just in case.
Because 94, 5, and 6, they had, that's when they had Albert Bell and
right,
all those mashers.
Yeah, Albert Bell was gone by then.
Yep.
Alonso is out, number 2.
Third base.
Alomar, was Alomar there at that time? Roberto, that is.
Yeah, I think he was.
Jason Kipnis has flied out and struck out. One ball and no strikes. So Jason Kipnis on the left. Now Alex holds his hands out there. Kipnis starts like Alex does, but then as the pitch comes in, he brings the bat close to his shoulder. But Eric Hosmer, that was the comparison that Alex made, and Eric was a hitter that would mess with his stance and his hand position and trying things every now and then, and occasionally would have his hands out over the plate. Bonifacio comes up, and Junis has a 1-2-3 top of the 5th inning. .40 a.m. are bringing Lincoln's best fans to the K on the Raised Royal Fan Express on July 7th. It's also Husker Night. For more information, go to Royals.com/Fan Express. Corey Kluber has set down 11 of 12 since giving up 2 runs in the 1st inning. Alcides Escobar leads off and pops it up, and that'll be out of play. Bouncing in the 1st row and kicking back to a fan who's got his Royals t-shirt on today. Escobar struck out looking in the 2nd inning. Corey Kluber has struck out 4. Oh, 2. He did not go around. That is Chris Conroy, first base umpire. Alonso will take it to the bag himself. Let's go to Joel.
Well, some injury news on the Indians side, and you've talked about their need for more bullpen pitching. They had hoped that Danny Salazar this year would have been either a guy that was in the rotation or some bullpen help. University of Kansas Health System injury report update. He's done for the year. Terry Francona saying that he had surgery yesterday. It was just exploratory surgery, but he was just a guy that couldn't get healthy. There were a couple times where he was close. They went in and they checked it out. It just ended up being a cleanup, not structural, but it's 10 to 12 weeks until he can throw again. So frustrating. Francona said that he is done for the year. The positive for them is that Andrew Miller back at home actually threw a bullpen session today, which was unexpected, but they said he was getting uneasy, antsy, and feeling well. So he threw a session, and obviously, as we know, that's a huge piece to their bullpen.
Carlos Carrasco is also on the disabled list. He got nailed by a Joe Mauer line drive off of his throwing arm. Ended up with a right elbow contusion, and he's throwing minor league rehab starts. It's never good when you go in for exploratory surgery.
No. But you know what, though? Nowadays, they can go in with their little scopes.
Broken bat, and Kipnis slides onto the grass to get the out against Mondesi.
They go in there with the scopes. They don't have to cut any muscles or anything like the old days, and they can look. They can see around, and then they can just pull them back out again and give you an idea. And that peace of mind sometimes allows the player to heal. If there's nothing there, you can go, okay, I'm good, I'm 100%, I'm ready to go. Then if you see something, fix it while you're in there. So that's not a bad thing. Technology's kept a lot of players on the field being able to make a living for their families, no doubt about it. Back in the day, if you hurt your arm, it was over. That's going to happen. It's an unnatural motion, especially those pitchers throwing that ball overhand like that.
Witt led off the first inning with a home run, and then hit a soft liner to second in the third. And now sharply hit on one hop to Kipnis, and that'll do it for the Royals. So now Kluber is set down 14 of the last 15 Royals. (6-2). Indians lead as they bat in the sixth inning. 4 scored on the Francisco Lindor grand slam. It's a called strike on Yan Gomes. He has been hit by a pitch. He also has a single and a run scored. Our trivia question tonight: the Indians have 3 hitters right now with 20 home runs prior to the All-Star break. They also did that in 01. What was Manny Ramirez's first year with the Red Sox? Is he still at the Indians in 01?
That's a good call, yeah.
All right, here's the short list, Ed. Manny Ramirez, Juan Gonzalez, Jim Thome, Travis Hafner, Might have been before Hafner, I'm not sure. Either Alomar, right?
Okay.
Bonifacio over from right. He makes the play. One down in the 6th inning. What about Travis Fryman?
I knew they had a third baseman in there. There's no doubt. That's a pop.
All right, let's take a stab at one. You go first. Ramirez, Fryman, Hafner, Thome, Gonzalez, either Alomar.
I'll go with Manny.
All right, Manny Ramirez. Strike one. What was his? What was Manny's first year with the Red Sox, Holtzy? Holtzy's looking it up. This is what happens behind the scenes here. We just look at Holtzy. Holtzy, look it up, Holtzy.
Gives you the thumbs up or the thumbs down, and we've been seeing a lot of thumbs downs lately. 2001.
There.
Okay, he wasn't
so that
there.
was his first year with the Red Sox.
I knew it was close. Okay, you're next. I remember the Bronc had some kind of years there. I don't know if it's after that.
Naquin will hold with a 1-out single. Jim Thome. That's one of them.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's one of them. Jim Thome. So I don't think Thome and Hafner were together in Cleveland. I don't think. Could be wrong. We're missing somebody.
It's kind of tough.
Because they had Thome, Alomar, Vizquel, Fryman, right? Lofton was in center. Albert Bell was gone by then. He was already with the White Sox, I believe, at that point. Got that big contract, remember, out of the strike?
Yeah, it's kind of hard because, you know, we competed heavily when I was with the Angels. In '94, '5, and '6, those were big years. Then I went left and went back to the National League again, and then broadcasted started in '99, and then so I'm kind of having a hard time with the years running together there.
Ryan Flynn warms up in the Royals bullpen.
That's some big power hitters there, though.
Juan Gonzalez had one huge year with the Indians. Down around the end of the bat, and that will drop. Naquin didn't read it great, so he'll advance to second base, and that's the third time that Rajai Davis has been on base. And remember, we were talking about a guy thrown into the lineup at the last moment oftentimes has a good game.
You can bet on it. Did you hear somebody yelling in? Infielders usually will do that when they know its ball wasn't hit well. They know first before the outfield does. So it's good they try to help the outfielders, even though there was no chance for Herrera.
Cal Eldred's going to go out and chat with Junis before he pitches to Lindor. Lindor hit a grand slam his last time up.
First few pitches didn't look like he wanted any part of it. Then he threw a changeup, and just was not located properly.
That was his second career grand slam. Michael Brantley is on deck, a left-hand batter. So this might be the last hitter for Junis. And then a switch hitter, Jose Ramirez. So the two key plate appearances for Junis today both involve Francisco Lindor. The failure to get the out on the bunt in the third inning from Lindor, and then the grand slam in the 4th. Those 2 plays right there led to 5 of the 6 Cleveland runs. One and 2. Still 1 and 2. What do you think? Travis Fryman?
That's a good guess.
Sandy Alomar Jr.
I don't know if Sandy had that much power. It's before the break, right?
Right. But you know, a guy can, a lot of times guys hit 20 home runs in the first half and then 7 in the second. Who are you leaning toward? We're missing somebody. We're missing a big Cleveland bat.
I like Manny, but he left. I think the Pronk was after that.
I don't remember Hafner and Tomey being on the same team. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I'll go Fryman.
Yeah, let's try him.
Travis Fryman. Incorrect. Matt Williams was there for a while. Remember?
Yep.
Lindor jolts it to deep right center field and gone. He has 6 RBIs. So in 54 games against the Royals, Francisco Lindor has 53 RBIs. 7 RBIs tonight.
You know, he keeps this up, he could be an MVP of the league this year if he continues that kind of production. It's a slider. He got the changeup for the slam, and he got a hanging slider for the 3-runner.
Brian Flynn comes on to face Michael Brantley. Turned a 2-2 game into a 6-2 game. And he came up with 2 on and 1 out in this inning. And that's a 3-run home run. He has driven in a career high 7. And I shorted him 1 RBI. In 54 career games against the Royals, he has 54 RBIs.
Wow. He's taking over for his old teammate Carlos Santana. Man, oh man, what a stroke too. I mean, you know, he's not that big, but he's able to generate some kind of bat speed. Very impressive. Trout could be in challenge for MVP. He stays healthy and keeps doing that.
Brantley grounds it out to Mondesi. That's the second out of the 6th inning. Also for Lindor, he has 17 career home runs against the Royals, the most against any team. It's also the first 7 RBI game for an Indian in 3 years, when Brandon Moss has 7 RBIs for the Tribe. And now Ramirez is digging for 2 against Alex Gordon, and a good slide, sliding to the back end of second base, and that is his second double of the night.
Going hard out of the box. Always hustling. Alex Gordon, you know, he knew who he hit it to. Yeah, he's saying, oh, that's that guy out there in left. I really got to bust it to get there.
Down and into Edwin Encarnacion. He has driven in a run tonight. One and one. Encarnacion has 15 RBIs over his last 10 games. And 57 for the year. One and two.
You know, you get pitches that are in the middle a lot. I mean, you know, this is the highest level, and you're going to get some mistakes, but you still got to hit them. You got to catch them just right. I mean, he's just got that swing. He's, especially after hitting one earlier, he just, it's amazing.
Hitting is not that easy.
No, you got to catch it just right to get it out of here. I mean, he hit it in a deep part of the yard.
Another ground ball to Mondesi. He backs up to get the right hop, and that'll do it. So Cleveland gets 3 more on another Lindor home run, and they lead 9-2. The MLB All-Star Game, July 17th, only on Fox, or stream it live on the Fox Sports app.
Like those guys were posing for that shot, kind of like this guy right here. Balance, that's what it takes. Balance swing. Hit the back underside of the ball, get a little backspin on it.
Rosel Herrera is 0 for 2 against Corey Kluber. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Scott Huff from Odessa, Missouri. And the pot is up to $3,600 for a home run out of the park. A grand slam out of the park, and Scott wins 25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Herrera followed by Moustakas and Perez. Little bit inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Royals got a leadoff home run from Whit Merrifield, then a 1-out double from Mike Moustakas, and then an RBI single from Salvador Perez. So they had a 2-0 lead, 4 batters into the first inning. And that base hit by Herrera snaps an impressive string since that first inning for Kluber. He had set down 14 of 15. That was one of your keys tonight, Hud. Get to him early.
That's right. And there's a changeup down low. Good swing, though. Look at, he's off balance, and a little booty knock for Herrera. Off balance, but he's able to stick it. Find a hole. That's the whole key.
Got the call on a slider that appeared to be a little bit low. Mike Moustakas doubled to right center field and scored on a Salvador Perez base hit in the first inning, and he also fouled out to the third baseman Ramirez. One and one. One and two. And got him to chase one in the dirt. That is Kluber's 5th strikeout, 1 down in the 6th inning.
Staying with a changeup, he's not going to dare challenge him with anything else. Moose is out in front and thinking he might come 2-seamer in. That 2-seam fastball of Kluber's is what locks up a left-handed hitter. He starts at 3 inches in, and it ends up catching the plate inside part. Had him guessing.
Ball 1 on Salvi. He had an 11 pitch at bat with Kluber in the first inning, and then singled to center field, driving in Moustakas, and the Royals had a 2-0 lead. Out toward right center field. Davis is calling off Naquin, and they almost collide. 2 outs.
That's Davis's ball all the way. You can see now they're both calling at the same time. Sometimes that can present a problem. But you know, that's when you take a peek down the last minute. Fortunately, no collision. But you got to sometimes either on contact or when the ball's in mid-flight, take one little peek and see where your guy is. And if he's, you know, that's center field. Center fielders all the way.
Ball one to Lucas Duda. Kluber has struck him out twice tonight. One ball, one strike. Talking about Hud's, one of his keys, get to Kluber early, which is what you need to do with any good pitcher, but Kluber especially. Look at how he bears down third time through the order.
That's very stingy.
I mean, even the best pitchers, some of the best pitchers in the game, I mean, their opponent's batting average will increase third time through. It's only natural. I mean, hitters getting a chance to see him a third time.
Yeah.
He's tiring, at least in theory they're tiring, and then you got guys like Kluber who can take it to another level later in the game.
Well, one of the reasons he's learned how to add and subtract off of his fastballs, we talked about it, the variation of fastballs that he uses anyway, very successful. Sinker, cutter, four-seamer. Those are three variations of the fastball. And then when you change speeds on those pitches, it makes them even more dangerous. So he understands the art of keeping the hitter off balance. Most effective pitch in the game, and I've talked to some great pitching coaches, is the fastball. Because you can turn it into 6-7 pitches sometimes.
That's Carl Willis, his pitching coach. Probably not a lot of pitching coaching going on tonight.
Not for Kluber.
There's a lot of watching tonight.
That's it.
And admiring. There goes Herrera, and Duda drops it into center field. Herrera will keep running to third.
Breaking ball. See, now it stays in the middle. Duda not trying to do too much, just reached out, kept his hands inside, and used the large part of the field. Probably didn't bother him that Herrera was going. Sometimes a left-handed batter can't see the runner out of his peripheral. Okay, let's check him out here. Okay, so good little back leg bend here, so most of his weight is on the backside here. Okay, and he's going to transfer it. Okay, if you'll just step right, easy stop, soft step. Okay, the weight's still here. Okay, watch him transfer now. Watch this. Beautiful. See how he stayed down, had a little back leg bend there, and just went through the ball. Stayed in the middle.
Bonifacio is 1 for 2 with a single. Now Herrera asks for time so that he can tie his shoe over at third base. That's a base hit into right field. Bonifacio gets Herrera to the plate. And Bonifacio has 2 hits tonight.
It's a nice hit right there with the runner in scoring position going the other way. Two-seamer. Ball ran back over the middle and in a controlled swing, obviously looking to go to right field there. See, that back leg was almost off the ground. Nebraska fans, here's your chance to show your pride, your Royals and Husker pride. Purchase your theme ticket at Royals.com/Huskers for an exclusive Royals cap featuring the Huskers logo and colors. Cheer on both of your favorite teams on Saturday as we celebrate Huskers Night, presented by FSKC and Rally House.
Dan Otero loosens up in the Indians bullpen as pitching coach Carl Wilson heads back to the dugout. Carl Willis. Alex has grounded out to the first baseman Alonso twice. Way in on his hands. The late breaking cutter. Well, Salvador Perez had gone 16 games without an RBI, and he snapped that tonight. Alex has gone 17 games without an RBI. He has Duda at second base, Bonifacio at first. Off speed, down and away. Good sequence there. One pitch is in on the hands, so it's only natural for the hitter to think, man, I got to be a little quick with this next swing. And he threw him a changeup down and away.
Pulled the string on him. Well, maybe he could follow suit what Duda and Bonifacio just did. Go to the opposite field if you can. 0-2. Might try to get you to chase, but
one ball, two strikes. Still 1-2. Kluber has had 97 pitches, and Otero appears to be ready to go in the Indians bullpen. Kluber threw just 48 pitches in his start Tuesday at St. Louis when he went just an inning and 2/3. Still one ball, two strikes. Royals had one base runner in innings 2 through 5 against Kluber. Now they have a run on 3 hits in the 6th. 2 on with 2 out. Kipnis has to run in from right field, and he throws out Alex Gordon, and that ends the inning. So Bonifacio picks up his first RBI of 2018, and at the end of 6, it is now a 9-3 Cleveland lead. Time for our cricket, something to smile about. That is Jackson Kowar, the Royals' 33rd overall selection. The Royals just announced tonight that they have agreed to terms with Jackson. He was the round 1 compensation selection in this year's first-year player draft out of the University of Florida. So he was competing in the College World Series.
He's doing pretty good sitting there with that camera right in front of his face.
He is standing by with Joel.
Well, we finally get a chance to visit with one of the Royals' top picks, finally just in Omaha recently and now here in Kansas City. Jackson, congratulations. What has this day and this experience been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a dream come true today. I got to bring my family with me, which has been such a blessing, as they've been such a big part of, getting me here. So, just kind of realizing my childhood dream today. So it's been an awesome day, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, you were just pitching in the College World Series and had the most strikeouts in one of those games since Trevor Bauer, who's pitching against the Royals on Wednesday. When you start hearing those names and seeing some of these guys on the field, what does it make you think about?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to kind of even be in the same sentence as some of those guys, and kind of realizing that they were in the same spot as me is definitely humbling. But there's a long road ahead before I can start being kind of compared with those guys. So I'm just excited. I mean, it's been a beautiful first day here, and I'm just kind of excited to get to work.
Got that tall pitcher's body. You look like a pitcher as I walked up and saw you too. What do you think about the future now in this Royals organization that went really heavy in college players?
Yeah, I think it was just, our draft was a ton of college pitchers. I think that's going to, be good. It's going to be a competitive situation for all of us, where we're going to all kind of be teammates and competing with each other. And I think that's exciting for all of us. And, iron sharpens iron. So I think it's going to be a good situation for all of us to get out there and kind of compete with each other.
All right, last thing before we let you go, and 2 outs. It, for many years, might be Singer and Kowar, or Kowar and Singer, whatever order, but the top 2 picks, longtime college roommates and teammates, and I hear great friends. Tell us about that and how you two push each other.
Yeah, so freshman year, he was my assigned roommate at college, and we haven't looked back since. We've been, best friends since, and it's been a really good run. And I think it's a good situation where we can compete with each other and kind of push each other and pick each other's brains and learn from each other. So it's been definitely a good friendship, and it's a real blessing that we can kind of continue that here in Kansas City. And I think we're both really excited to get this journey going.
We'll try to sneak one more in with 2 outs. Describe your game on the mound.
I'm a starting pitcher. I'm a big, tall righty. I think I got a good fastball, and I'm pretty unique, and my best secondary is a changeup. So I think that's kind of something that makes me stand out. So I'm excited to get in here and develop and get with all the guys.
Congratulations, Jackson, on signing the contract. Your parents are right on the other side of the camera with big smiles on their faces, so I'm sure that they and all of your friends and family are proud of you, and we can't wait down the road to see you here at Kauffman Stadium.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right, there it is, Jackson Kowar, and I heard from the scout that signed him, that changeup, the best out pitch he has seen in a long time, guys.
Well, what will we be saying about the 2018 draft 3 years from now, 5 years from now?
Hopefully a lot.
Yeah.
You know what? I like him. He's well composed. I like the fact that him and Singer work together.
Best friends.
Yeah. A lot like UCLA's Bauer and Cole, right?
Were they best friends?
No, I'm just kidding. Tongue in cheek. They can't stand each other. Yeah. But you know what, though? I think not only with the pitchers, but some of the other outstanding players the Royals have in A-ball that are going to be up here and be stars. We're looking at a nice future, no question.
Can you imagine how exciting that was to, first of all, find out you get drafted in the first round, and then a little bit later on, your best friend calls you and says, "Hey, guess what? I just got drafted by the Royals too."
That's unbelievable. But he talked about his childhood dream. And that is, really to get drafted by a Major League Baseball team. And then his next dream is going to be a big leaguer. But I don't know if he understands yet exactly the Royals and how special it is in their family. They really take care of their players, and he'll learn that as he goes along. It's almost family first.
Yeah. And
that's a huge blessing to be with an organization that you hear him say that in some organizations, but to actually back it like the Royals do, he's in a good family.
Well, you have to have the talent to get drafted that high, but the Royals measure character as high, if not higher, than any other organization. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Naquin. Very well spoken. Jackson seemed genuinely grateful and excited for the opportunity.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Believe it.
One and 2 on Naquin. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Time for Flynn to keep that sinker down. Hard down, sinker, slider, change. Everything down. Ground ball specialist.
He has the most double play ground balls in the major leagues with fewer than 50 innings, getting a lot of ground balls like that one.
Beautiful.
Let's take a look at his Pizza Ranch for the win line. A quality start, 3 runs in 6 innings. He gave up 2 runs against the first 4 batters that he faced. Then he went on to retire 14 out of 15 and then gave up a run in the 6th. And Dan Otero is a Chevy call to the bullpen.
Otero, he's had some issues, obviously, with that ERA over 6. And a little bit too much in the middle of the plate. Otero, he's features 88 to 92, a sinking fastball. It's not overpowering. A slider and a changeup. 33-year-old veteran. Look at from the far extreme first base side of the rubber.
Escobar is 0 for 2 tonight. Davis comes up in center field for out number 1. Well, our good buddy Steve Physiak will be hosting a book signing for his new novel, The Walls of Luka. That'll be from 4:30 to 5:30 in the Royals Hall of Fame. That is coming up on Saturday before the game against the Red Sox. Proceeds will go to Royals charities to benefit Safe Home, which helps survivors of domestic violence. Books will be available for purchase at the signing. The Walls of Luca, which has gotten great reviews so far.
He's outstanding. You know, you get a chance to pick up a book, you'll love it, but you know, even better to get a chance to meet him. You won't meet a nicer guy.
Kipnis has to hurry and gets Mondesi, who is 0 for 3. Dan Otero looks like he could pass his Jan Gomes brother.
Yep, that looks similar.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Down and away to Whit Merrifield, who hit a leadoff home run tonight. He is 1 for 3. One ball, one strike. Whit Merrifield, Mookie Betts, and Andrew Benintendi are the only players in baseball with 20 or more doubles and 15 or more stolen bases. 1 of 3. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And those two guys, along with Jackie Bradley Jr., who was Whit's teammate in South Carolina, they'll be here over the weekend.
Power and speed. 2 of the main commodities in professional sports you got to have. You can make it with just one of them. You don't have to have both of them. If you got both of them, you got a chance to be a star.
It's just a little bit out in front of Otero. He has fouled off 3 over to the third base side.
That's what a sinking fastball will do to a hitter. Tries to pull it and it sinks at the last minute, hit it in the ground.
Slice foul to the right field side. And a young fan there with his glove and a red squid stocking cap, ended up with the souvenir anyway. That's one way to stand out when either the ball boy, or in this case Tyler Make, when the right fielder is looking for someone to throw a souvenir to, you know, a red squid stocking cap that'll get someone's attention.
Hungry for some calamari.
Hit that way again. A little deeper into the seats. That's only the 4th squid stocking cap I've seen in my life.
Well, you know,
yeah.
I was wondering, when he left the house today, he had all of his Royals gear. And, I mean, what made him pick out that one?
Yeah.
Or those.
Yep. It's only the 3rd hot dog family I've ever seen, father and son.
Yeah. You know, they picked a cool night to wear that.
Well, he's got to be our Pepsi fan of the game.
Why not?
In truth, though, Squid's eyes are really not that far apart.
That's a good look.
Wow. Hit well to center field. Davis is sprinting back and he runs it down and goes onto the warning track. Royals are down in order in the bottom of the 7th.
who's been struggling, had to deal with an MVP candidate.
Yeah, and he's been struggling keeping the ball in the ballpark. We've seen this act before from Lindor. 2 home runs tonight, 7 RBIs. I know we've seen some good games. This may be the best we've seen from him tonight.
Among the many of games we have seen of his, we've got all of that and more reaction analysis coming up on Boulevard Royals Live.
Good to see Monty, who was not with us on the last road trip.
Indeed.
Speaking of Monty, refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. This is the 3rd inning for Brian Flynn. He got the last 2 outs of the 6th for Junis. Pitched a scoreless 7. And here's Rajai Davis, who's had a good game. He has scored 3 times. Just made a nice running play on Whit Merrifield, and we found out after the game started that he was in the lineup. Lonnie Chisenhall has had a lot of calf problems. Was scratched late because of another calf issue. So in steps Rajai Davis. He has a double, a single. He's been hit by a pitch, and he scored 3 times. Any more thoughts on our trivia question? Actually, you seem pretty confident about Roberto Alomar when we were talking during the last break.
It's got to be. You mentioned one Hall of Famer, I'll mention another one. Uh-oh, Tester.
So Davis is on for a 4th time tonight. That's a base hit.
He earned that one. He'll take it too. Got a smile. He says, all right, didn't hit it very far, but they all even out. Good speed. Mid-30s. Look at him. Runs like a young man. Takes care of himself. You called it. Before you stepped in, you said, you know, guys that just get known that, you know, and there's a lot of truth to that. You don't have time for the anxiety to build up, and you just go out and say, okay, I'm going to react and play. Even though I'm sure Davis has no anxiety at his age. He's 12 years in the big leagues. He's very confident.
So Roberto Alomar, we going with Roberto Alomar?
Speaking of confident, believe it.
Roberto Alomar. Strike 3.
Oh,
we're out. There's going to be one name, and we're both going to go, oh, come on.
No, I don't even want to know the answer.
Juan Gonzalez. That was the year.
Ellis Burks would have never got it.
I would completely forgot he was with the Indians.
Give me my phone and my iPad back now.
Juan Gonzalez.
Let him have another win. We'll catch him before the year's over. That's a good question. I would never guess that.
We're starting to create a little distance. Why
don't we get a truck picture with the 15 guys in there that all make up the question against us too?
Lindor is out.
Got him out. Shocked the house.
He has driven in 7 of the 9 runs, and he has scored a run. So he's been part of 8 of the 9 Cleveland runs tonight. A friend of mine who likes to text me during the game, during the trivia questions, and I keep my phone face down.
Okay.
You know,
you didn't
want this to be legit, but then when afterwards, and I'll check my phone to see which friends had it right. And this particular friend of mine had Ellis Burks and Juan Gonzalez.
Wow,
how about that? It's impressive. Two 2-0 on Michael Brantley. Ellis Burks, in my mind, is in a Red Sox uniform.
Would have never guessed it. I knew it was an outsider somewhere. Now, had I had my iPad, I could have guessed.
Out at second, and a double play, another double play for Brian Flynn. That's 10 for him. And it's 34 for the Royals bullpen that leads the American League.
Roll them up. The 50 Seasons Shirt Series, presented by Charlie Hustle, on Monday, July 23rd, featuring everyone's favorite hot dog derby contestants: ketchup, mustard, and relish. Purchase your theme ticket today at royals.com/theme tickets. Hot dog derby.
George Cantos will pitch the bottom of the 8th inning, and we'll get Herrera, Moustakas, and Perez.
27th game. Cantos. You see Eric Gonzalez in at shortstop. Nice athlete. Good utility type player. Giving Lindor a little breather here last few.
Slap to the left side, and Ramirez gets Rosell Herrera. He is 1 for 4 tonight. And Brandon Geyer is in left field for Michael Brantley.
You know, when you get called in late in a game like this and you're a bench player, I guarantee you when that bench coach comes down and calls your name, you know, you jump off that bench and you say, yes sir, I'll be in there, you know, instead of moping and going, oh, you're gonna put me in now. You know, there is none of that at this level. If there is, they'll find somebody else. It's all about the attitude. This kid Cantos, he's a grinder, 33 years old. He got a heavy sinking fastball. Cutter. Wow.
Mike Moustakas doubled and scored in the first inning, and when he scored, the Royals had a 2-0 lead against Corey Kluber in the first inning. Kipnis will have a long throw, and it is in time. 2 down. This is not, well, we'll tell you about tomorrow night. Danny Duffy and Shane Bieber will pitch game 2, and then Ian Kennedy and Trevor Bauer will pitch on Wednesday. I was going to say this is not the back end of the Indians bullpen in a 9-3 game in the bottom of the 8th inning, but they have some bullpen issues this year, which they have not had in a long time. So Indians fans are cautiously optimistic. Their bullpen ERA was great the previous 2 years, but look at that. They have a 5.17 bullpen ERA this year. Their save percentage is way down. They have 9 blown saves. They had 10 all of last year. They have 18 blown leads and 27 all of last year. And you know, last year when you win 102 games, you're balanced. I mean, you got a lot of things going for you, but one thing that they had was what the Royals had in 14 and 15. You get to the 6th, 7th, 8th innings and the game's over. Not this year.
No, and you know, Goldie made a nice report there talking about Andrew Miller, who's their key, obviously, to their bullpen. Throwing a little bit of bullpen session, that's huge for them. They need him. Everybody, the whole bullpen revolved around him. Francona could use him in any spot. You know, 8th, 9th, he could use him in the 6th, 7th when he needed some big outs against some certain hitters. You know, having Miller healthy is important for their pen.
Still 2-2 on Salvi. And the Indians right now, they have the luxury of not having to rush anybody back. They have a 9-game lead. That is the largest lead in the major leagues in any division. The next biggest lead is 3 games. So Andrew Miller can take his time. I mean, you don't want to take anything for granted, but there's no reason to rush him back. I mean, when he comes back, you want to make sure he's as close as to 100% as possible. They also have, as we mentioned earlier, Carlos Carrasco on the disabled list, so they should get him back. Bradley Zimmer, their good young center fielder, is on the disabled list right now after smashing into the wall in Yankee Stadium and wrecked his ribs.
He's going to have to, you know, learn how to, you get close to that wall, you shut it down. Stay healthy. When you're young, though, you know what? You're out there to make the play.
Up the middle, Gonzalez over to first base, and we head to the 9th inning. Cleveland leads 9-3. Going further, so you can. 9-3 Cleveland. Francisco Lindor, who is out of the game now, has driven in 7 with a grand slam and a 3-run home run. Brian Flynn just pitched 2 2/3 scoreless for the Royals, and now it's Jason Adam in the 9th inning.
Okay, Jason Adam learning a lot. His first stint through in the big leagues this year. They sent him out for a week or so, and they brought him right back up. Looking good. Had a nice little scoreless inning.
That was on Friday, pitching around a couple of walks at Seattle. And he'll face Ramirez, Encarnacion, and Alonso.
Big fastball, 95 to 98, overhand curve. Change up. There's a curve there, top of the zone. Good arm. Nice future, especially being from here.
Two and one against Jose Ramirez. All 9 runs for Cleveland were charged to Jacob Junis, who went 5 1/3. And now Ramirez cranks it to center field. Herrera was already deep, so he makes that look routine. 1 away. Edwin Encarnacion is driven in 1. And 15 over his last 10 games. Fouled off of Salvi's glove. Hit a mile with one hand and foul. He cleared the seats in the left field corner.
Yeah, that almost bounced with it a little luck and went right out the gate. I think that guy got it though before it bounced.
Deep short, Mondesi backhand, sets his feet and throws him out.
Mondesi looks good on the routine play. We know he can make the spectacular one. That's one of the reasons he's got such a high ceiling.
Yonder Alonso is 0 for 4. Inside for ball 1. The Indians right now are 8 games above 500. Last year at this time they were 6 games above 500, and they went on to win 102 games.
They really put the pedal to the metal, didn't they?
They had that 22-game winning streak, which they extended against the Royals, and then it ended against the Royals. And Terry Francona, you know, the first couple months his teams are okay, you know, a little bit over 500, but for whatever reason from June 1st until the end of the season they turn it on. Only the Dodgers have had a better winning percentage after June 1st since 2013. That was Terry Francona's first year. The weather has something to do with it. It's cold in Cleveland, and one of the explanations that I've gotten is that Terry Francona really takes a 6 months approach to the season, in that he tries to play as many of his guys the first couple months, tries to keep players fresh, doesn't want to wear anyone down in the first 2 months, spreads out his bullpen. He is either praised for managing his bullpen or criticized for over managing his bullpen, because he'll make pitching changes with the best of them, but his bullpen as a result is usually pretty fresh at the end of the season.
Well, he has tremendous skills as far as it comes to communication, talking to his players, relating to them one-on-one, where they are in their careers, but very confident. Makes you feel good. He's like a father, really.
He has been the American League Manager of the Year twice with the Indians, 2013, 2016. That'll be foul. And that after a successful career in Boston. He has the second most wins in Red Sox history. And he'll always be remembered as the manager that broke the curse, winning in 2004. And then they won it again in 07. Back to the middle. Witt backhands and gets it to Mondesi. And that'll end the top of the 9th inning. Transmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Ryan Lefevre with Rex Hudler, along with Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery, director Steve Kurtenbach, producer Kevin Cederdrin, associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, and Dave Holtzman, and the producer of Royals Live is Casey Carter. This is Mark Zepchinski, pronounced just the way it looks, and he'll get the 9th inning.
I don't know.
And he'll be pitching to Hunter Dozier, who will come off the bench and bat for Lucas Duda. Lucas was 1 for 3 tonight. Dozier's been getting a lot of regular playing time, and Ned Yost was asked before the game if he was not in the lineup tonight because of Corey Kluber, and Ned said yes. He didn't try and tap dance around that question at all. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
But you know what? I guarantee you Dozier was all amped and ready to face Kluber. You know, he's a competitor. He's got a nice future ahead of him. Facing Zepchinski, sinker, slider, change. Low 90s.
And that's into center field. So Dozier gets a pinch hit base hit, and that snaps a personal 0 for 11.
Hey, now he's on his way.
And with Zepchinski struggling here, Royals have him on the ropes. Terry Francona has a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. Cody Allen, his closer, with with the tying run in the clubhouse in his street clothes eating a sandwich. But that's what we were just talking about with Terry Francona. How he keeps his bullpen fresh.
He's got a couple of new arms out there. Neil Ramirez is a new arm. Oliver Perez, veteran, 36 years old. He's down there, left-hander. Contos, we saw him. He was new since we saw him early in the season.
Part of keeping your bullpen fresh is also keeping your bullpen sharp. So I don't think Terry Francona is at this point worried about a save situation, but maybe just wants to get his closer in there for a batter or two. But who knows? We'll see. Cody Allen did not pitch over the weekend in Oakland, so he needs some work. Shallow right field, and Naquin is there for the out. Danny Duffy will start tomorrow, and the Royals will see rookie right-hander Shane Bieber. And the Royals only win during that last road trip in Milwaukee and Seattle. Danny Duffy gave up run in 6 innings. The Royals ended up getting 5 runs in the top of the 7th inning. Abraham Almonte will get an at-bat.
It's a good win.
To Alonso, out at second, pitcher covering, and Zepchinski makes a nice play. So for the moment, the game is over. The Royals will take another look at it. Zepchinski was down on a knee receiving that throw, and Ned says that they will not challenge. Down on a knee, but the foot was on the bag. So a 4-6-1 double play ends it, and the Indians take game 1 of the 3-game series. That man right there, Francisco Lindor, drove in 7 of the 9, and the Indians win it by 6.